Hey everyone, welcome back to 12 Days of Past, Present, and Future with Daisy and Christy. I'm also finishing up my 30 Days of Sketches 3 with the very last sketch, this one right here. So this is day 30, even though it's like the middle of June. And today for our series, Daisy and I are doing a double page layout. So we are still into our past trend. And this is something that when I first started scrapbooking was very prominent, was to do 2 pages. Like 1 pages were still a little bit new, and it's not something I did a few of them, but I kind of jumped on the 1 page bandwagon right away. To me, it was a little bit more my style, and my brain could work around it a little bit easier. And so, 2 pages is not something I do hardly ever, but I am going to make it work, and I'm going to just incorporate this sketch in it as well, so that I had a starting point, because these are 2 pages are outside my comfort zone, so I definitely would have needed a starting point no matter what, and this one's just gonna help me work through it. I have some pattern papers here that I just kind of had in my stash. One's a Dear Lizzy, one's an Elle Studio, and then I also pull from Crate Paper's Poolside collection. It's the very last piece of pattern paper I have from that collection. It is one of my all-time favorite summer collections, and I'm gonna use it. I finally cut into this piece of paper that I've been kind of debating which side I was gonna use, and I made up a decision today going ahead to use that. So what I'm gonna do here, or at least my plan, is I have this recent photo of Jackson that I took in our pool, and I'm standing over top of him, and it's the one down there at the bottom right at the moment. And I'm going to pair that with 3 photos of him from throughout the years, basically in water. So I have, I think, one from when he was a year and a half old. So like his first real Canada Day trip to the beach, and then his second year as well. And then a more recent photo, I think he's about 3. So I think he's 1, 2, and 3 in the photos that I end up picking. But I love them, and he is such a water baby, like such a water baby. And so, I'm just going to document how much my son loves the water, and just kind of a general look of his love of water throughout the years. And this is something I haven't really done, is a kind of overview of him enjoying something through multiple years. But as they get older and doing things that are repetitive, I thought it would be fun to do something a little bit like this. And I was watching a few people scrap. There's a new line out, a new summer line right now that has this theme of good times and tan lines. Like it's a kind of a little slogan that is used on it. I do believe it's I don't think it's the Simple Stories line, because I have that one, but it's one of the new summer lines, and so I'm going to use that as my title as well. So knowing that, I went ahead and pulled out the alpha I want to use for the word tan lines, and now I'm just going to try and play and figure out what I want to do. I'm basically taking the sketch and having it one way for 1 page, and then just flipping it for the other one, so there's a bit of interest. Same thing with the pattern papers, and just kind of making it do its thing. I did want to switch my photo so that I had that photo of Jackson up at the top, the most recent one. However, I do not, because our pool is blue, I didn't want the blue on blue, so I am going to switch it so that the yellow is at the top, and then the blue one is down at the bottom. And that way also the photos that are down at the bottom, 2 of them, Jackson is looking into now it's correct, but he's looking, off to the left. And when they were up there at the top, they were looking off the page, and I didn't want to do that. So I do move it all around. And here is that piece of pattern paper I was talking about. The back side of this pattern paper has this really cool triangle look to it, and I was thinking about using it for a background for so long, but then it has this side, and I just didn't know, and I finally decided that I'm gonna use it for the cut apart, and so I'm embracing it and I'm gonna use it, and I just went with it. I tried to just use a little bit at first, but I found ways to use some more of these tags, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and just enjoy it. And I am going to turn in those 3 photos into tags just so that they've got a little bit of extra interest to them in a way. And yeah, so this is actually a very, very simple layout because of the fact that, again, way out of my comfort zone to do a double page spread. So out of my comfort zone. And then on top of that, you all know I'm starting to pack, and my brain really isn't into scrapping right now, which it is. I mean, I'm always thinking about scrapping, but I'm not there right now, and I'm probably not going to be for the rest of the summer. So to make something super complicated really isn't gonna happen. So in order to make this layout a little bit more interesting and a little bit more what I would normally do, I go ahead and decide to, like I said, turn these into tags. That adds a little bit of interest. I'm also going to figure out that I'm not finding the alphas I want to use for the word good times. So when that happens to me, I pull out I have 2 sets of alphas that are really nice and big, and they are perfect for tracing and stitching, and I'm going to trace one of them in the black, and I'm going to stitch the bigger ones, and I do it in a like 4 different shades of blue to kind of bring that kind of effect in. There's a bunch of different blues kind of going on, and I'm adding these circles because of the fact that that's kind of what you saw in the sketch, and I wanted to bring that element to this layout. I really did like that, and it just kind of fits together. So it is a pretty basic layout, not a ton to it. I love the photos though, especially the current one of him up there. If you can see the close-up, he is covered in freckles. That boy, and I have freckles too, especially in the summertime, they all come out. But this boy, the second he gets any sun on his face, and he just is lined with freckles on his nose, and it's so cute. It fits him really well. But you do have to look at him to see them. They're not just like there. You kind of have to really look, and it's just a feature of him that I love about that. And he's so happy in this photo because we got a pool this year, and he just thinks it's the neatest thing ever. He really loves it, and he's happy. And it's this photo, I mean, we're still in June, and for where we live, June, it is summer-ish, but it's not really. Like, we don't really get summer until, July. July tends to get, hotter, and then August is our big month. But this year, we've had summer early, and we've been embracing it. We've had some hot weather. We've already cracked into the 30s, which is amazing for where we are. That does not normally happen, but it has been hot. And so we are going to embrace this super hot summer that I believe we are going to have, and just make the most of it with this pool and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, I really love this layout. Make sure you head on over and check out Daisy's take, because oh my goodness, it's amazing. You're going to love it. And yeah, it's gorgeous. So make sure you head on over and check that out. There is the look of it together. So that's my 2 pages. I am hand stitching the word lines currently, so that did change. I did decide to space it up a little bit, but you're not going to see that for this finish there. So there's the right side. Yes, the right side, and this is going to be the left side right here. And I will see you all next week with our last past series trend coming up. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Bye.